Up. I should be live on here and good to go. All right, cool, y'all. What's up? How are y'all doing today? Fantastic. Let me actually see if I'm live on my Facebook. I think I am. Let's check. Sweet. Hope I am. Let's see. Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, I am. Cool. All right, and I'm going to go live on here, too. So we are cool. We are vibing. Excellent. Okay, so I told you guys that I would be on to talk about the installment method. It seems like a lot of people had questions about the installment method. And so I'm going to wait just like a little bit, not too long, I guess, for people to jump in and see if anybody does join. And if nobody joins, then that's cool, too. But wanted to kind of jump in here and talk to you guys a little bit about the installment method that I was using. People had questions about it, so I definitely want to share. I'm not selling anything or there's nothing like that. I literally just want to share with you guys what I'm learning in the wedding. Why not wedding photography? But in the real estate, kind of in the real estate world. And so it's really cool. It is, one of the biggest reasons, I guess I'll just start it off. One of the biggest reasons why I decided to, hopefully everybody can hear me. I think everybody can hear me. So one of the biggest reasons why I decided to do this was because I kind of saw the writing on the wall. There's like a ton of regulations and legislation coming out about wholesaling in general, talking about how a real estate wholesaling contract is not actually having equitable interest into a property. And you're seeing a lot of cases like that. In South Carolina, they're actually sending out cease and desists to wholesalers trying to wholesale, and they're finding them $20,000 per assignment that are for people that are trying to wholesale. And then you have in Nashville, in Eastern Tennessee, they literally the Real Estate Commission in Eastern Tennessee said that they will not list on the MLS your equitable interest. So I think that even goes for novations, they will not list it, which is kind of crazy. And so learning a ton about, and I just kind of see the writing on the wall. I think because of the nature of wholesaling and how it's been in the last 2 years and kind of the name that people have made for wholesaling, I think it's going to really affect the industry. So, and I think there's going to be regulations and rules against wholesaling in the future. So I was looking for other options, and I ran into Matt Crawford, Alex Fisher, Jordan Schutz. They're in my Collective Genius Mastermind, and they were talking to me about this thing called the installment method, and I was like, okay, this sounds pretty cool. And then as we got to talking, I was like, yo, this sounds amazing, because I've been doing novations, which novations is yo, this is amazing. This is so cool. I can list on the MLS, get much higher profits for my per deal, all of that stuff. And then what ended up happening was when you get into novations, I love novations. I think they're incredible. If you want to learn novations, Eric Brewer is your guy. He's incredible. He's helped out a ton of people, and he knows his stuff. He is the man. And so learning novations is really great. But there's kind of the hardest part that I have of it is almost being this idea that you go to the seller and then you're like, hey, Mr. Seller, you're gonna see this amount on the HUD when you go to sign it, and when you go to sign, it's gonna be different than the amount I give you. So for instance, we did a novation, and it was we were buying the house for 150. We went around, we turned around, we put on the MLS for 270. Made that profit, and I was like, hey, Mr. Seller, when you see 270, know that they're paying for the renovation, all that stuff. So you have to try to make this conversation around why they're going to see this huge spread on it, and that just was a little bit off for me a little bit. And then also the idea of there's a novation contract, net proceeds, power of attorney, all of this stuff. And then as I thought and learned more about the idea of the power of attorney, honestly, and you run the risk of being sued and losing, because as a power of attorney, you have a fiduciary responsibility to look over the best interest of the person you have power of attorney over. And if I'm making significantly more than them on a deal, then I think that they could sue me for not having their best interest in mind. And so as I just thought about that, and as I'm running through this stuff, I'm just thinking like, okay, maybe novations isn't the best thing. And so as we've done this, learned this installment method, that's kind of blown my mind on all of this. It's been incredible. And so I'd love to answer any questions anybody has about it, but I'm just going to give like a broad overview of what the installment method is. And what it is essentially is this idea that, so let's say I use a normal offer to purchase contract. Normal offer to purchase, hey, I 200,000, whatever. I use that normal contract. And then as quickly as my title company can clear title, and so typically you want to say like between 8 to 10 days, but as soon as they can clear title, you actually do a front end closing. One of the things that I love about this, and so just so as a timeline, under contract, within 10 days, we're doing a front end closing where all I'm coming with is, honestly, what I'm coming with is the closing cost to close. And so I'll tell you, I closed one today and it was like $1,500 in closing costs. And then my initial installment to the seller was $1,000. So this is how it works. You do an initial installment. You do an initial installment, and you can kind of layer it however you'd like, but you do an initial installment, and that is actually an equitable deposit on the property. From there, after the initial installment, you pay, you close. So today we closed on one, on the front end of one. The title company will then go and they're going to file and record that with the county. So then now I have an equitable deposit on the property, file and record that with the county. I then am on the deed. I'm on the title. I am on there with them. And then now I can go and do anything I want. I can go and I can sell it. I can renovate it. I can renovate it and sell it. I can wholesale it. I can actually refinance it because I'm on the deed, and it's better than a memorandum because I'm on the deed. Typically you want to cloud the title, but now I'm literally on the deed. They can't do anything. They can't pull out debt against the house. They can't do anything without us signing off on it. Now, the greatest part that I love about the installment method is, and this is where, like, again, this is where there's all this paperwork with the novation, and then you have to go in, they sign again on the back end. After that initial signing, so that when I signed today, when that seller signed with us today, she never will have to show up again to a signing. She's done. The only other time she will ever talk to the title company again is if she wants to go and pick up a check and doesn't want it sent to her. So because what happens is the title company keeps what she signed today, they keep that it's called in trust. So they keep that deed in trust. So then now we can actually go and we can put it on the market, and we can act as the buyer, as the owner, because we legally are the owner. We can wholesale it with actual equitable interest. We can refinance the house out if we wanted to, which is like really, I'll give you a case for that, but we could refinance the house out if we wanted to. And then what happens is at the BC closing, the title company will take that deed out of trust, and then they will put it together and file that. So that person, my seller today will never have to show up whenever I do a BC closing, because they just combine the two. She's already signed her interest away, and so then we put those together. It's wild. It's really, really cool. And so there's even just a couple of instances in which it just makes an incredible amount of sense. Is one of the things you can do, and I actually have not found yet the ability to pull a cash out refi, but I can always do like a rated refi, right? Or a purchase loan on a property. So for instance, just did this. There is a property that it's in an area that doesn't appreciate a lot, but the rents are amazing there, and we're getting the house at around like 66% ARV, where in that area, if you're gonna wholesale it, a cash buyer is gonna want at least 70%, maybe even 65% minus repairs. So you can't wholesale it, can't put it on the MLS because they're about to go through foreclosure, and we don't have enough time because the house is sitting on the market a long time in that area. And so we just thought, okay, well, the best thing to do is just kind of refi it. So we got it, we did the installment, and then in the process of literally, because it's at 65% ARV, we're going to be able to refi that with the bank, or get a purchase loan for that amount with the bank. And so it's kind of crazy to be able to do that and have that exit strategy to where I actually, we're paying the seller, you want to put down at least $500 on the You want to put down at least $500 equitable deposit for that to be the county to be like, that's a legitimate amount. So give the seller like the $500, and then you have $1,500 in closing costs, and then I refinanced. So instead of going and buying a house or pulling out some kind of crazy loan, still not a crazy loan, but like a bridge loan or something like that, instead, I'm closing on the house and refinancing. So then I own the house literally by only paying closing costs and my initial installment. So it's kind of wild that you can do that because you're on the deed and they never need to show up for it. They get paid off. So when I'm doing the refi, it's paying off the initial lien it's paying off the lien from the initial mortgage, and then it's paying the rest that I owe to the seller. And so it's kind of wild and it's really cool. So I would love to just take some questions if anybody has any questions. It doesn't seem like people have questions because nobody's saying anything, but I'm sure people will have questions later. But it really is incredible. I have a YouTube video that I made that kind of makes it a little bit more succinct and the information a little bit more palpable. But I just thought I'd jump on this live because so many people were asking me about the installment method, and it's crazy. The deal I did today, we put down at $1,000. And here's also the thing, like, this is one of the things that I love about the installment method is it makes your offer significantly better than every other offer on the market. So what we do with a lot of the sellers is we go, and we work with foreclosures, so they need cash, and we go, Mr. Seller, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but what if I were able to give you a little bit of money down now? Yeah, Jordan, I'll talk to you about that in a second. How would this work in lieu of a traditional wholesale? Yeah, bro, Eric Brewer, man, thank you for the give, man. I even though I'm talking about this installment method, I can't sing your praises enough about Novations. And every time I talk about installment method, it's similar, like the pitch is similar to Novations. And so, bro, I'm just telling everybody about you and how you're killing it with the Novations Brewer method. If anybody wants to learn, that is your guy. He gives a ton of value and he serves super, super well. And so thankful for him. Matt Kennedy, man, how you doing? I hope you're doing fabulous, man. Really good to see you. So when I pitch it to the sellers, I go, I don't, it's okay, man. But what percentage are we talking about from property value to cash needed? Oh, if I'm understanding your question correctly, not sure what you mean by cash needed, but for me, when I go to refi this, like, I don't need any cash. I literally need my closing costs and whatever I'm paying them for the initial installment, and then the refi that I end up doing ends up paying all of that stuff off, because even the initial installment price that I give to people, yeah, so $500, I've done $1,000, and then here's what I was gonna say too. One of the things you could do is you talk to them and you go, what if I can give you some cash now? Would that be helpful for you? And they're like, yes. And then we go, okay, I can give you $1,000 now. $500 is probably the minimum you should do because that's like a legitimate equitable deposit. Anything under than that, the county's gonna be like, that's not enough to get equitable interest on it. But, so then I end up, so what you can also do is you can give them $1,000, and if you want to like make it like sweeten the pot, you could be like, okay, because we have one person right now, and they had, oh, great point. Oh, this is a banger. Oh my gosh, it's a house. It's a house that actually has a nice basement on it, and it's 2 acres, 8 minutes from like literally from the epicenter of Charlotte. 8 minutes, 8-minute drive. So like he had another offer. And then we had an offer that we came in on, and our offer was a little lower, but we were like, okay, what if we give you $4,000 now? So within the next 10 days, we'll give you $4,000 now, and we'll give you $500 a month until we close. So for that guy, he actually took our offer, which was a little bit lower than the other person's, because we're able to give him money now, where the other person is like, I'll pay you in 2 months when we close. Like, no, we'll give you $4,000 now, and then we're gonna give you $500 per month, every month until we close. And so this guy's like, yes, that's what I want, that's what I need. And so for us, we're able to get literally a 3,000 square foot house, 3.3, that's worth $300,000 plus 2 acres, 8 minutes from the epicenter of Charlotte. So we're gonna build 2 more houses on the lot, and that's because we did this method, we were able to get that house. And so for us, And I'll tell you also what we're about to do, because we're keeping it. This is crazy, y'all. This is the power of it. We're gonna do the $4,500 a month, and I'm already in the process of doing a refi or a purchase loan with my lender. So literally, I'm gonna own that house in 3 weeks by only paying $5,000 for it, and it's 2 acres. Because it's just the way that, because like. And here's why I only pay $5,000, because I pay the initial installment. It's not gonna go 2 more months, so I don't have to pay the $500. I pay the initial installment. The refinance that I end up doing, or the purchase loan from my lender, is going to come in and look at the value of the house, right? And we are at about, on ours, we're at $300,000, and it's probably worth $500,000. So we're at around 65%. They're gonna give us the refi on that. They're gonna take care of that 65% because it's already in like a livable condition. So we don't have to actually like renovate it too much. We will put some stuff in it. But really, in 3 weeks, they're gonna pay off the initial lien from they're gonna pay off the lien from the initial mortgage and pay off our sellers. And so all I came out of pocket was the $4,000 and that. So just give me some money, cuz. Hey. Jay, and let me hold one of those whips out there, homie. Okay, so Jordan, now you're asking me, how would it work in lieu of a traditional wholesale? So this is kind of the same. So it's actually the same, right? Like I actually though can go and sell. I don't have to do I guess because I'm on the mortgage, I don't actually need to do a traditional wholesale. That's just a straight up offer to purchase, and we go from there, right? Yeah, that's how that would work. I actually haven't used it to wholesale. I've used it to flip. So the one that we did today, the one you guys saw a picture of today, buy that property, put ourselves on the deed. I'm not worried now if they're going and shopping it around or selling it to another wholesaler or anybody like that, because like they can't close without us signing. So they literally cannot sell it out from under us. So I can then go and renovate the property. So we renovate the property, and we've already got a buyer on the MLS for the property. So we just signed that today. We're a little bit late with our installment, actually. That has to actually closes in 2 weeks. We've already renovated it, so we're a little bit risky there, but we knew that it would go through. But theoretically, you can get it done, and then you can actually work on your renovation, because you don't have to worry about them coming back and or selling it to somebody else or anything like that, because you're on the deed. They literally can't sell it without you. So really cool. As I'm learning this, learning different methods, it's blowing my mind, and I'm seeing how it works on all sorts of scenarios, not just the normal ones. And it allows me to really, like, my offer is better than everybody else's because I can still put it on the MLS. I'm giving them money now, paying them along the way, and it's all credited towards my purchase price. So it's kind of wild. It's really cool, and it's fairly similar to like a seller financing, right? Except they don't own it, so it's like a wrap. So then you're paying off the initial lender, and then you pay off the seller, and then you own the property. So yeah, that's it. I hope that's helpful. I mean, it's been really rocking my world. It's been crazy. I think, but again, like, it's another tool in the tool bag. I think novations are incredible. Eric Brewer is your guy to learn from that. Also, if you guys really want to dive into this, this is not my this is not my IP. I learned this from Jordan, Alex, and Matt, and those guys are big time wholesalers down in South Carolina. They do a bunch of stuff. They're doing all kinds of stuff, and they wanted to figure out how they legally can now wholesale in South Carolina because of all of the regulation that's coming. So they partnered with Gary Pickren out of Blair Cato Law Firm. Gary, who is a South Carolina real estate commissioner and real estate attorney, created this thing, and it's patent pending. I think it's crazy. That's cool that you can patent that. And so it's all from them. And so I got their course, and I learned all about it. And so if y'all have questions, it's not my IP to give away. I'm like very happy to help in any way as far as like strategy, all that stuff. But when it comes to like contracts, it's not my IP to give away. So I would say default to those guys. I can connect you with them. I would love to connect you with them. I know they have the course, and they're running a special on the course. The course, literally, guys, I can't tell you, like, I'm going to buy so many properties without ever putting down any more money than the closing costs and the $500 or $1,000 for the installment that we're doing. So it's just crazy. especially if you can then come back on the back end with some sort of like refinance loan, and then you have it outright, or if you then go ahead and put it right on the market or flip it or whatever, like you have so many options. I would say the one thing is that like if we're gonna flip it, because we're doing an installment method, we're not actually borrowing, like taking a bridge loan, so I'm actually responsible for the price of the flip. So that's like one thing that I haven't gotten around yet. Maybe there's a way. I'm not quite sure yet. There probably is a way. But the biggest thing that I've been using it for, which is incredible, is like just going straight to my lender and getting a DSCR 30-year loan or 30-year mortgage rate and paying off the property because we're getting it at a discount anyways. And then we just go from signing the contract to 3 weeks later, straight into our 30-year mortgage. It's nuts. It's wild. It's crazy. So it's a really cool thing that you can do that like you can't do with any other strategy unless you buy the property. But the whole goal for this is like you come out of pocket $2,500 to buy a house. It's nuts. So it's really cool. I like it a lot. Any other questions? I'd love to chat with you all about this because it is game changing for real. It's really, really cool. But it doesn't look like there's like many other questions, and that's okay. But I hope y'all, if y'all have questions about it, like let me know because it is straight legit. And I'm gonna try to help because I do have that Facebook group that like of just like regular real estate investors, and so I'm gonna try to help out as much as I can, especially in there. But would love to connect with you all if anybody wants to get into real estate. If anybody wants to put money into real estate, let me know. Get you some good returns. But other than that, y'all, I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you. Thanks for joining in on this. I hope this was helpful for somebody. You go rewatch it or whatever. And if you need more clarity, let me know. I'm 100% here for you and all these computers and all this stuff. I'm here. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic day. Thank you. Have a fantastic night. I'll see y'all later. I appreciate you. Bye. Peace.